N1MD Podcast. Kevin Hurt, Brian Sherrard.
Hey.
The Sunday morning party. You gotta get up early, might as well party.
Welcome to the NY to ND versus. Yeah.
I know, right? I'll be Jadakiss. Thank you, everybody. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in to NYMD Podcast. Kevin Hurt, Brian Sherrard, Sunday morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for following us here on YouTube, where you can subscribe and like us at N1MD Podcast. Of course, we're on the Facebook, the IG, and the Twitter. A lot of Twitter activity this week. I've been tweeting away, so that's a good thing. So please follow us on there. And of course, you could download us and find the audio version on Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher apps. Wherever you find podcasts, you will find NYMD Podcast. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now, of course, the best story for me this week. Go ahead. I'm sorry. What are you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say, what's going on, man? I was gonna say, what's going on?
I would say the top story for me this week, and I know we talk about it a little bit, but of course, is CM Punk returning to wrestling, which is a huge story. He came back Friday, he joined the AEW in his hometown of Chicago. Huge pop. People going crazy. People cried. I got goosebumps. I ain't crying over a wrestler. I mean, I love wrestling. I love Sting. I love Sting was my favorite wrestler. But, when he came out and surprised people, I was shocked. I ain't crying. So, but it was cool. It was cool. I ain't making fun of the dude. I'm glad he really, loves wrestling. But it was that was the start of my weekend. So it started off hot, so to speak.
Okay.
So last night was SummerSlam for the WWE.
Oh,
they had a couple surprises and stuff as well. So,
what happened? What happened at SummerSlam?
I mean, nothing really major happened. Becky Lynch came back out 15 months after having the babyish because she was pregnant. So she's back. Brock Lesnar came back at the end after the main event to go after Roman Reigns, or at least get in Roman Reigns' face after he dispatched of the Peacemaker John Cena. So I mean, this was a long show. The show was over like 12:08. I'm like, why am I up watching this show? I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was like, and I was talking to my friend Dan. And I was just like, I was like, dude, it's 12. I know they're in Vegas. Maybe they're thinking they're on like Pacific time, but it's 12 o'clock over here in the East.
So where did they start?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm sorry. What time?
Yeah. 8 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like 8 o'clock. They had a pre-show, but the main pay-per-view started at 8 p.m. So, but you can still make it and cut some. There's some things they could have cut out. There's some things they could have done a lot better. There's some things that happened I wasn't happy about, but we're not going to get into that today.
Okay. Well, you know what we are going to get into today, Hurt?
What we're going to get into, brother?
We're going to get into,
my wrestling voice came out.
I know. We're going to get into streaks, Hurt.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because
Cal Ripken.
Yes. So there's a streak that Baltimore has, man. That's pretty impressive right now. Now, last week I know I said it meant nothing, but there's absolutely a streak that is really impressive. And I don't even though it's impressive, I don't really think it's all that great.
Well,
you're
the only one.
That's because it's not great. And you know what streak I'm talking about, right here?
We're going streaking. You mean the old school? No,
not old school.
No. I have no idea.
The Baltimore Orioles. The Baltimore Orioles have a pretty impressive streak right now, Hurt.
Well, guess who's close to that streak as well? It'll be the New York Mets.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
17 straight losses, Hurt.
Yeah.
It's getting bad. It's getting bad here in Baltimore. The crazy thing is, after the All-Star break, the Orioles came out like on fire, man. I think they won like maybe 2 or 3 consecutive series, which they hadn't done all year. I think they won like 7 out of 10 or something like that. But they have lost 17 straight games, and it's how do you lose 17 straight? Like, that's hard. It's hard to lose 17 straight games in baseball, man. It really is. It's hard. It's not easy. But the Orioles, for whatever reason, they make losing easy, and it's pretty embarrassing. Basically, right now the Orioles are fielding a 4A team right now, and it's a combination of a couple things. They're rebuilding, and they're focusing on the minor leagues, which is great because now one rating system has, I forget if it was Baseball America or Baseball Pipeline, has the Orioles minor league system ranked number 2.
Oh, nice.
Number 2. And which is great because for so long, this was the main problem with the Orioles. And when GM Mike Elias came, he had to really burn the house down, the entire thing down, and start from scratch. They are just to talk about some of the good things that they're doing. First of all, this is going to be either their third. It's going to be, well, no, the season was shortened last year. I was going to say this is going to be their third 100-loss season, but it's not because of last year. But and actually last year was actually not bad. They actually did good. They actually in contention until the last month of the season. But anyway, make a long story short, they have they've had number 1 picks or like top 5 picks, top 3 picks like for the past 3-4 years. So that's helped. They have focused on international free agents, which is they actually spending money on international free agents, and they're actually putting infrastructure in place to create a pipeline of these free agents to the Orioles. I don't know if I told you this, but they actually are building a baseball academy. In the Dominican Republic, and I saw the blueprints for it. It's going to be state of the art. It's going to be great. So the Orioles are spending money in the minor leagues. They have the number 1 pitching prospect, Adley Rutschman. Grayson Rodriguez, and they also have the number 1 position prospect in Adley Rutschman. So minor leagues are great, but they got to spend money. They got to spend money on major league talent, because basically what they've done is they're fielding the major league team with some of their minor league prospects that haven't panned out, that were picked by the prior administration, that they pick up waiver claims from other teams, players on waivers from other teams, and they're giving them a chance to play, but it's not enough. The Orioles have to spend money next year. I know they're still in the rebuilding process, but you got to field a competitive team, man. That being said, man, there were a lot of people at the game last night. I was actually shocked. I don't know if it was a giveaway or what, but man, right now.
I mean, we were saying earlier before that it was a really nice night or day too.
Yeah.
And honestly, people want to get out.
Yeah.
And that's a perfect. And again, it's not like they play at a dump. Camden Yards is a beautiful place.
I don't care what anybody says. It's still the best stadium in baseball as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been to Citi Field yet, or the Nationals Park or whatever it is. But to me, because I've only been basically to Camden Yards and like Shea and the old Yankee Stadium, and the old where the Nats used to play. So basically, I've been to 4 places. The best places for me in baseball are Camden Yards and of course the Myrtle Beach.
Oh yeah,
I mean, you gotta remember going to the Pelicans game. So yeah, but it's a beautiful place to go. The Mets are basically we're 2-8 in our last 10. We're 3 games under 500, 7 games behind Atlanta now. We've gone downhill, and we've spent money on major leaguers. So it's a little bit different. Of course, DeGrom's been out. Our offense has been. Lindor's been out. He's been hurt. Javi Baez is doing okay. Lindor's been out for a couple of weeks now. So, we've been. I mean, Alonzo's been doing okay, but we've just kind of hit a crater, and we can't dig ourselves out currently. So, and the schedule we have, we just played the Dodgers. I think we're playing them again tonight. So that's like 4 against the Dodgers. We had 3 against the Giants. Then we had the Padres. Like, we faced all the top teams basically in baseball back to back to back to back to back. So that's not helping us. Like, we need more Marlins and Pirates on our schedule. But it's just not. Yeah, it's not looking good. And I do not like the Dodger City uniforms. So I'll just say that.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw them, but I don't like them.
No, I don't think I've seen them.
Yeah, they're ugly. Maybe because I hate them.
I gotta take a look at it.
Yeah, but they're ugly. So yeah, Giants, Dodgers, Giants, Dodgers again. So yeah, that was all fun. Now we killed the Nationals. We lost to the Phillies. We killed the Nationals. Lost to the Dodgers. Lost to the Giants for 2 out of 3, and then lost these last 3 to the Dodgers. So we play them again today. So yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. It feels good. Makes me feel warm inside.
Yeah, man.
We faced Scherzer last night because
oh man,
the rich get richer.
Yeah, man. It's not good for our baseball teams right now.
No.
But I'm glad to see you still repping your Mets. So that's good. But it may not be good for our baseball teams hurt right now. But it sure is good for our football teams hurt. And especially the one north of 495, the Baltimore Ravens, who have the second most impressive streak in Baltimore right now. 19 straight preseason wins hurt. They defeated the Carolina Panthers last night 20-3. And, all we do in Baltimore is beer, crabs, and win preseason football games. I don't know what else there is in Baltimore, man.
Man, listen, Natty Bows and streaks, man. I mean, you gotta. That's what B-More does, dog. You know what I'm saying? So, but as of course the streak is on the line.
Yeah. Next
week, it's the battle of 95. The Mambo Sauce versus Old Bay, whatever it is. Still never had Mambo Sauce, honestly. I don't even. I saw it, and then now it's like everywhere. Like somebody put it in a bottle. I saw Mambo Sauce somewhere, and then they have in DC it's like Mambo Sauce pizza. I still never had it. Go-Go versus house music or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was about to say Go-Go versus club.
Yeah, I mean, so it's they have this game every year. Honestly, the thing is, I don't like. I have zero interest in a preseason streak, zero. But is your boy gonna play? Because he didn't play yesterday. Your quarterback.
Who, Lamar Jackson?
Yeah.
No.
He's not going to play any other preseason, you think?
So and here's my prediction.
Mm-hmm.
I know this sounds crazy. I don't think we're ever going to see Lamar Jackson play a preseason game.
Like ever?
Ever.
Okay, I mean.
From this point forward, I don't think he's ever playing in the preseason.
Okay.
And I completely support that. So, first of all, I'll get back to that in a second. Last week, I said I didn't care about the streak. Preseason wins mean nothing. And I just want the streak to end. I still believe all that. However, when I found out that we were playing the Washington football team, you know what? Let's just break this record against y'all, man. You know what? Now I want them to win. Before I was like, man, just hurry up and get this thing over with. But you know what? It's
it'll be over with. You ain't got to worry about that.
It's Red Hogs versus Ravens.
The
Commanders versus the Ravens.
The presidents, the legislation, the Washington legislation, the Washington traffic jams.
Oh my god.
Shoot.
Now, since we are playing you all, I kind of want to win this game now.
Yeah, well, of course.
However, I think you guys are going to win, honestly, because I think your backup, your second and third string QBs are better because you have Taylor Heineke, right?
Yeah.
And who's this other dude y'all got that's been performing pretty good?
Again, I don't watch these games, right? It was because now the crazy thing was, as we all know, I'm a wrestling fan as we start off the show. So I turned to watch SmackDown on Friday, which comes on Fox, WWE program. Lo and behold, my team was playing on TV, which shows you how much I care because I had no clue they were on 8:00 on Fox on Friday.
Dude, that was so funny because I was gonna call you to say, hey man, you ready for your team? And you was calling me saying, hey, yeah, I was trying to watch wrestling. Oh, the football team scored.
I had no clue whatsoever. But yeah, so Kyle Allen, who we got from Carolina.
Oh yeah, I forgot y'all had him. No, but it's somebody else too. I'm thinking about. Is it
Fitzpatrick, Heineke, and Allen?
No, it's another dude. That's
somebody else. Theismann. I don't know. No. Doug Williams.
Yeah, no, not him. I'm trying to look at you. I'm trying to pull up your box scores now, but it's for whatever reason it's taking for. Oh, here we go. Oh, well, maybe. Oh,
yeah. So
I get maybe. Okay, he didn't. No, it was somebody else, but I guess he didn't play yesterday because Fitzpatrick played. Maybe I don't know, but
so we have a fourth stringer that comes in. Yeah, maybe he does.
No, but he's been playing well in the preseason. No, but yeah. So you all, I think you guys, you won last night. We won last night.
Woo-hoo.
So yeah, man.
Love winning these preseason games. Yes. Yeah, like I said, I honestly don't care, but yes, I want to win.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Again, just for the fact, games at FedEx Field. If it wasn't for COVID, tickets are $21. Hell, I'd go to that damn game on a Saturday. I would go down there. We could have a live report. And we are playing at home, so we'll have the hometown crowd, which would be purple. Sure, we're not going to pay money. We're not going to pay money for that thing, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of Ravens fans there. So, yeah, listen. I don't like the purple team, and because I know the thing is, if you guys played anyone else, unless it was Green Bay, it would be like, hey, look, we won, we got a streak, but playing us, it would be like, Ravens extend streak, dominate last preseason game versus Washington, or and by the way, the score could be 6-3. You know what I mean? But it would still be, Washington gets killed. They wouldn't use killed. Washington loses tight game to dominant Ravens defense or special teams, or our kicker's better, or it's something that would be on the Baltimore Sun that would just totally oversell them. So I don't want to deal with that. But then, of course, if we win, it'd be like, well, this last preseason game doesn't mean anything. In years past, we had 4. This year, we had 3. We didn't even really play anybody. It'd be, so they're prepared either way to lose. That's all.
All right, man. We'll see what happens, man.
But we're gonna see.
Yeah,
okay, we're gonna see.
It's gonna be such a boring game. Oh,
I ain't gonna watch it either. We're talking. I ain't watching this game.
Oh, I am. Like I said, I watch it to watch. I love preseason because I love watching the draft picks play.
If there's nothing else on, like yesterday they had on Infinity Wars and Endgame back to back. I was watching that on like TBS or something. They put that on, or they have a Godfather, or they have any of these top cartoons, or I don't care what they have that's more interesting than this. Something on YouTube, I'll watch it over watching this preseason game. I have no interest whatsoever.
Well, I guess. Well, that brings me to my next question. But I guess it's not going to mean anything to you. I was just going to ask you. have you learned anything from the NFL preseason this year?
0. I've learned that Justin Fields needs to watch out for his blind side.
Good Lord, man. First of all, he got smashed. Yo, not only did his helmet get knocked off, but the padding inside his helmet got knocked off. Like,
and his headband.
Yeah,
he does have like a little headband.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it was a headband. So he has like he has a lot of hair. So he has like a thicker headband.
Okay, that's what it was.
So all that got taken off as well.
But my question is, how did he continue to play? That was a straight hit to the helmet.
Yeah, it was a penalty. Might be a fine.
Yo, how did he not? How did he? Continue to play that game?
Yeah, I guess he was. I mean, obviously, it seems like he was okay. All I know is like Andy Dalton. What kind of products is Andy Dalton putting in his hair? That's the only thing that I noticed was different. All of a sudden, his hair is wavy, and I'm like, what is going on with the Red Water Pistols hair? What's going on? Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've learned nothing. I haven't watched. I haven't paid it. I don't know what my resentment is towards these games. I'm not saying it's a resentment, but I could care less.
Okay.
I really could. Because I think I was invested when I was younger. And the more and more, I get into it, or somebody like, oh, I like this guy, number 42, some free agent or some guy that we drafted. And, 2 weeks later, he's cut. And I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I don't want to get into this anymore. And there's people that do show up and show out. But it's rare. So it's rare when you find a guy who maybe comes on their roster and does something. It does happen. I'm not saying it doesn't. And it's cool when it does, but it's just not, I don't know. It's not enough for me to get tuned in to the game. The game was on. I turned to it, but I could literally do 17 different things while the game was on and just kind of forget what's going on. And my first team was playing a lot. It's not like they weren't playing. My first team was out there. Fitzpatrick was out there. Everybody was out there. And all I kept thinking when they handed off the ball to Gibson was, please just don't get hurt. Like, I just kept saying, take him out. Like, that kept freaking me out. I'm like, maybe that's why I don't watch. Because, he's my keeper this year at fantasy. Not to mention he's our number one guy. Just, I don't want him I'm like, every time he got tackled, I'm like, just land correctly. It just kept I just kept getting freaked out. I was like, so he had like 3 plays in a row, and I'm like, please go out of bounds. Don't take a hit. Please go out of bounds. Don't take a hit. I'm like, you know what? I can't do this. I think it's what I turned. So maybe that could be the reason, because it's like preseason games, seeing your guys go down is like the worst feeling in the world. Because in practice, you just hear about it.
Right.
You're not watching it. You're just kind of like, oh, damn. So you don't see it. But preseason games, when guys get hurt, there's like this, it's almost like it's this weird feeling of you should have been out there kind of thing, even though they got to get their reps in too. But it's just, I don't know. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just weird. It's just like you got hurt in a game that doesn't mean anything. And then just like, and he's going. And he's, in NFL, it could be a season, injury. Even though for some reason in practice, I don't have that same feeling. It sucks. But, yeah it's like, you need practice. Like, you don't need to play in this game. I don't know.
Right, exactly. It just sucks, like you said, to see players go down in meaningless games that don't mean anything. Well, let me tell you my 3 takeaways from the preseason so far, Hurt.
Yeah.
Takeaway number 1, I think this 2021 draft class, QB class, it's going to be pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I think Justin Fields is doing great. Zach Wilson, man, he's looking good. Trevor Lawrence, he's going to be good. Who else? Who am I missing? Oh, Mac Jones is
who?
Yeah, exactly.
Mac Jones.
Who? Yeah.
Mac Jones.
The Patriots might have. Oh man, like I said, I hope they didn't pick a good QB, but I don't know, man. Mac Jones might be giving Cam, even though Cam performed well. The other night.
That's another thing too. It's like Buffalo blew the heck out of Chicago. Like, what am I supposed to take away from that?
Nothing.
Yeah, New England blew out whoever they played. I don't know who it was. What am I supposed to take away from that? Like, I don't think it's indicative of what the season's going to be.
You
You know
don't
what I mean?
right. You don't game plan for these games, and a lot of times you're working on stuff. Like the Ravens did something. All right, prime example, right? The Ravens were losing 3-0 at the end of the first half. Okay, so they're in the red zone. They're probably on the 10-yard line, 15 to 10-yard line. It's a 3rd and 6, right? The clock is running, Hurt. It's 3rd and 6. It's about 16 seconds left. What would you normally do in that situation?
How much time's left? 16?
16 seconds left. You're out of timeouts.
Or a quarter?
You're in the it's in the second. It's right before halftime. 16 seconds left. Right before halftime. 3rd and 6. 3rd and 7-ish.
Mm-hmm.
What would you expect?
I mean, where were they?
They were at around the 10-yard line, 15.
Their own 10-yard line?
It was around the 15 to 10-yard line.
I mean, you got to throw a pass.
Exactly. The Ravens ran the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like somebody was saying, I don't know if it was this game or some other game. But they're just running, I think it was like 1 second on one of the games. Maybe it was even a Washington game. Where they're just still gonna run plays as if down and distance don't mean anything. You know? Like they're just gonna run the play that they want to run just to see how it unfolds rather than, oh, we're gonna, hey, 16 seconds left. Let's set up for a field goal. You know what I'm saying? So we got to do a quick pass, get out of bounds, or a fade in the end zone or something.
Right, or spike it. Yeah. So but they we're going to run the ball, and I think they did that. They didn't care about getting the first down or not. They weren't, either he was going to get a touchdown or he was, you know what I mean? So I think they to work on situation. Like if this situation comes up where we need to get the field goal team on with 10 seconds left on the clock, you know what I mean? So I say all that to say these games mean, New England winning 35-0 means nothing. You're not game planning. They don't game plan in the preseason. They don't study the opponent. You know what I mean? They just run their base offense and their base defense, and they're evaluating players based on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just that the Ravens are better at it, at everybody than everybody else. Let me stop. No, but these games mean nothing, man. The biggest thing out of preseason is you just want your players to get healthy. Then that brings me to my other point. I just don't think Lamar is going to ever play in the preseason. I'm talking about for as long as he's a Raven and their number one QB and all that stuff, because the risk is just too great. It's just too great. And to me,
but why is it greater for him than say Patrick Mahomes?
Because of his play style.
Okay, well, I mean, he can't get out of that in preseason.
He can, but I just feel like it's, to me, the Baltimore Ravens are Lamar Jackson. If anything were to happen, it's just, and I know if anything were to happen, Patrick Mahomes' season's done. But it's not, to me, it's not worth it. Why play him in the preseason? Why? So you mean to tell me you're going to play him for 2 series? For what? For what? Okay.
I mean, if you're doing one of those where they like I forgot there was 3 games instead of 4. Because I was talking to Dan, and I'm like, why are they playing in the second game? I forgot
you were talking to me. You were talking to me.
Was you. Oh, okay, yeah. And I was like, why are they playing in the second game? Remember, Hurt? There's only 3 games instead of 4. Like, I forgot that already. I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. So the fact that he hasn't played it down, to me, doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. And I'm going to tell you why.
I mean, he's going to be fine when he gets out there. Like you said, it just matters for them. They got more games to go through now anyway.
Right.
So you need him to go through that whole schedule healthy. To me, it's like college football. College football does not have a preseason.
Exactly.
They start.
Exactly.
Sometimes those first games, especially those Florida State Miami games, were ugly. They weren't as prepared as they were if they would play in October and they beaten everybody, and they get to that game and it's like solid football. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm just a college fan. They just start. Just start.
Yeah.
Like I don't. I like what. Again, I know it's different because you get to see who makes it. That's what practice is for. Because again, that fourth string guy who can break a run against a fourth string defense isn't the same if you put him in there facing the number one defense. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just the way I see things. Lamar does not need to play.
No, I really don't think so. And real quick, 2 points I just want to make in regards to that. Like I said, the risk of him getting hurt in a meaningless game, from a third stringer that's trying to prove something. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, the Justin Fields type thing. So, right, that dude, he's trying to make the team. I don't know who it is that hit Justin Fields, but I'm sure it was somebody who's trying to make the team, trying to make a big play, almost took his head off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you just don't even want something like that happening for a meaningless game. Second, these joint practices are great, right? So,
and Chippy.
yeah. And so what happens is when these teams schedule joint practices throughout the week before they even get to the preseason game, and that way you can have good simulated game type situations on a different team, right? So you can get different looks, and there's a not much of an injury risk because even though they're going at it hard, you're not going to get taken. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think with the joint practices, with the, like you said, the increased workload with the added game in the NFL schedule, it's like there's no need to do it. And the Rams, really, McVay started this because I remember going to a preseason game against the Rams, and it was 2019 where the Rams played none of their starters. They just don't play any of their starters during the preseason. And then first I was like, dang, man, that's different. But I'm now I see why. I'm totally with McVay on that. He since he's been coached, maybe that first year, but I think the second year he's been coaching on, he does not play his starters at all. And I think that's the way to go. I really do. And I think it's cool not only for injury reasons, but because there's fewer preseason games now. You do want to see those 2s and 3s in your draft picks play to have more film to evaluate them on. So
and what you do,
right? But you would mention, hey, college, they just get out there and start. Hurt. And speaking of college is about to start. Like, I think it starts next week?
Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
But speaking of college football, Hurt, you sent me an interesting article this week. And I want you to break it down.
What's a transition? All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And I just want you to break it down for you because I have a question about this, but I want you to break it down for me. You sent me an article about the ACC Big Ten Pac-12 alliance, and my question is this alliance good for college football?
Yes. To me, it is because it brings about different matchups we may not normally see. Like, just imagine, and I don't think I've ever seen it, a USC Florida State game. Miami has played a lot of Pac-12 teams, but Oregon Miami game. Something fun like that we hardly. Now again, we play the Big Ten's involved as well. But you may get an Ohio State, Clemson game in the regular season. Michigan, at home to Miami. USC against Maryland. Yay. Certain things like that, which will bring about probably generate more interest and revenue than just the regular scheduling that they normally have. Now, the thing I don't know, and I know a couple of people were talking about this, I don't know how this affects the scheduling that they currently have with the SEC. So, say, for instance, there's usually the SEC Big Ten Challenge when it comes to basketball, I believe. I don't know if due to this alliance, which is supposed to be talked about this coming week, and how they're going to, what the alliance is really truly about and how they're going to go about doing it. But I don't know how that works, how that's going to work with the ACC, SEC, which has, to me, had rivalry games since the beginning of time since I got interested in college. So I don't know how that affects those. Hopefully those still remain because I can't live without playing Florida every year. Like I need to play Florida every year. So, and I need the Georgia Tech game. I mean, go ahead.
Do y'all play Florida? And Miami every year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't play each other every year for some reason. They chickened out of that. But we played both. So again, last year was the first year due to COVID. We didn't play them, but every year we play Florida and Miami. That's why those games are always just so, man. Oh my God, especially back in the day. Not so much now because all the teams kind of been up and down in different years. We haven't all been strong at the same time. So, but yeah, so it's again, I think this extends past football to maybe even basketball or whatever else. But I think it presents different ideas because what they're doing now is trying to fight for survival because they know the SEC is just going to make more money bringing in Texas and bringing in Oklahoma. I mean, the number one teams preseason football, number one's Alabama, number two's Oklahoma. They're both powerhouses. So, and sometimes it's helped teams like teams who have transitioned over to different conferences like Nebraska who struggled, and maybe bringing back a rivalry game against the Oklahoma, or one of those teams that or against Colorado may even rejuvenate something. You get what I'm saying? Because those games against Northwestern, really, I don't think the alumni get so excited about the Northwestern Nebraska games.
Right.
So especially because Nebraska loses to Northwestern, so. Indiana coming to town doesn't do much for people for Nebraska. So maybe it might help them get back to Nebraska football, Cornhusker football. But it's the SEC just galvanizing these things, and in the future, I learned a long time ago when these conferences started going away. Dude, you know how much college football is meant to be. Yeah. And these rivalries that I grew up on, I think the most shocking thing wasn't when Texas A&M left to SEC, Missouri leaving, Colorado leaving. It was Nebraska leaving. That wasn't even Maryland. It wasn't even Maryland, but it was Nebraska leaving the Big 12 because my whole life I grew up Nebraska, Oklahoma. Like, how are you even playing Oklahoma every year for Iowa? Like, I was so confused. Even though they're neighboring states, and Iowa and Nebraska have, I guess, a rivalry, but that was the game. Texas, Nebraska, like those. I grew up on that. You know what I mean? And them leaving that to go, I was like, that really got me like, wow. Like that big rivalry means nothing because because when schools feel in this case like they're the third fiddle, maybe they're like, where can we go and we can bring our name and brand somewhere and feel a little bit more important. And now Texas, Oklahoma are the big dogs in that small pond of the Big 12, but they're like, our home games against Kansas State aren't selling out. Our home games against TCU aren't selling out. Our home games against Iowa State aren't getting us anywhere.
Yeah.
Us losing on the road to Iowa State doesn't help anything. But if we play Florida, we play Georgia, we play Texas A&M, we play, Missouri, we play Alabama, Auburn, LSU, and we win or we lose, it means something. Oklahoma, LSU, primetime 8 p.m. game, forget about it. That game is sold out months in advance. A primetime Oklahoma Texas Tech game ain't getting you nothing. So it's all about the schools and survival and money. And so they're getting together for money and exposure. And the good thing is, academically, the ACC, the Big 10 and the Pac-12 all have AAA schools. All those schools are in the top 40% of like researching, and you know what I mean? So it's also, they kind of add up academically in a way. So it really helps with that too. But yeah, I think it's good, but it's the next step. Again, it's not a merger it's an alliance, but I need to see also what this alliance means.
Yeah, I just want to see how everything's going to shape out. You know what I mean? Like you said, I want a little bit more information. You know what I mean? Just to see how everything's going to work. But dude, like you said, I would love to see a Maryland USC game in the regular season. That would be freaking.
Yeah. Maryland at Arizona, Maryland playing Oregon. Just imagine them going up to the Outson Stadium for a game. That's just exciting. Or like I said, Florida State traveling to play Oregon, or playing UCLA at the Rose Bowl. Like stuff like that's exciting to me because I never thought I would ever see it, because Florida State would never, because due to conference affiliation, probably would have never played in the Rose Bowl. Now they did a couple years ago in one of the playoff games in college football, but before then, I was like, we're never gonna get to play there, so it's pretty cool, and those little things mean a lot to me. So, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think this is going to go eventually a way of, and this is a way to be honest, for the Big 12, I see the same Big 12, the Big 10 to keep their big dogs happy. Because what's stopping the SEC to say, hey, Ohio State, tired of beating up on Illinois every week? Tired of going and beating up on Soda? How much does that mean to you? You beat Michigan 900 years in a row at this point.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the team up north, as you call them. Playing Michigan State, does that still mean anything to you? No. How about you come down, play Missouri, come down, play. If they're going all the way to Texas, what's the difference from going from Alabama to Ohio? What would stop for that to happen? So that's what they're looking at too. Like they could come over here and take our big dog away.
Yeah.
And no one wants that to happen. What's the Big 12? I keep saying the Big 12. Good Lord. Because they have 14. The Big 14. What's the Big 14 without Ohio State? What would they be without Michigan? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, man. It would be bad, man.
It would be horrible. So that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
So, and that would be more money. There would be more money for all those teams. So, Oklahoma's going to SEC. So, Oklahoma, Ohio State matchup, regular season, money. So, yeah, they're trying to appease them as well. The thing is, honestly, I don't, and if this happened 15 years ago or more, when Florida State, Miami, and whatever were good, I think that it wouldn't be this big of a shift, but the ACC has basically one powerhouse team right now. So, and then who's stopping Clemson from leaving? Even though, because they're the big dog in that state, even though SC is.
Why would they want to leave, though?
Say again?
Why would they want to leave?
Money. Everybody wants to leave them on what? Your home game against Georgia Tech or your home game against Georgia.
Yeah, but aren't they getting tons of dough from
you are, but again, more. These are college presidents, man. They're like regular presidents. They want to make more money. It's about making money. It's not about what's best academically or professionally for our schools to stick together. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we're here in Texas. Let's support Baylor and support TCU. And no, we're out. Yeah. Is our football program's not making enough money like it should, we're out. Clemson could be like, again, even though they sell out all the time at Clemson, beating up on Virginia means nothing.
Yeah.
Or Virginia Tech. They may not bring in revenue if you're playing Auburn at home.
Yeah, but you're bringing in revenue going to the freaking championship game every year.
Yeah, no, they are. And they may not want to ruin that. And of course, then there's Notre Dame. What's Notre Dame going to do?
Yeah.
So,
Notre Dame needs to find a conference, man. This independent stuff is stupid. Just find a conference.
Well, I know. Well, again, they're making just as much money on their own. So they're fine. They joined the ACC last season just because of COVID, end up finishing second, but they were fine with that. But basically all their other Olympic sports, as they call them, or with the ACC to like 2036 or something. So, but yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I am looking forward to this season. I'm hoping some bounce backs and stuff from the ACC. So I think Miami's going to be good. I think Florida State's going to be improving. So I'm hoping that college football itself has some better powerhouses coming.
Yeah. All right, man. Well,
that's my rant on that.
Hey, man, before we get to some entertainment topics,
yeah.
I have one last question for you.
All right.
Okay. Is LeBron the best player in the NBA?
No. Not right now. He's not.
Somebody needs to tell LeBron that because
I don't need to tell LeBron that. He can feel how he feels, but he's not the best player currently in the NBA. I love, everybody knows. We had to just show 295 or something. And on all those shows, I put on there that I love LeBron. But I haven't seen LeBron play at 100% in a minute. In a minute. And there are players in the league, when fully healthy, that can play both offense and defense, at least just a game at a high level. So I mean that's fine. That motivates him, which is fine, because believe me, all these guys, top guys, KD specifically, will take any little slight and turn it into motivation.
Well, it looks like that's what LeBron's doing, because he came out on Twitter and said, "Thank you," as if I didn't need more to fuel me. # washed up.
Yeah.
Because basically what happened, there was a poll of, I think, 10 executives that came out, and none of them had them listed. None of them had them listed.
Yeah, I think it was KD and Giannis.
Yeah,
who's the best player in the NBA right now? And Giannis, I mean, took his team, and he just won a finals. We've seen KD in the finals being finals MVP when he's healthy for, of course, it was a stacked Golden State team, but he can still do it. And we've seen KD be, great. Giannis just showed us how good he's, like 2 MVPs. So, okay, that doesn't bother me, but no, can he be on a night? Oh, yeah. Can he be in a series? Probably. But we all listen, as much as I love that guy, and I know how old he is, there ain't no way during a regular 82 game season that dude's playing defense 50% of the time. Because he's not. And I've seen it. Now, when he come out with a spectacular block every now and then, oh my God, yes. But is he running back fully all the time? Nope.
And nor should he, because A, he's older, B, he needs to conserve his energy, man.
Yeah, for the playoffs. But the thing is that I have an issue with him wanting to be tough. Stop trying to be. What are you trying to prove? Why play 82 games? I'm sorry.
Why not? I don't see. That's the problem with this whole,
But to me, if you're not going to go full, play both sides of the floor, why play that game at all?
Wow.
So you're fine with him half-assing it, so to speak, during part of the game.
A couple plays on defense, sure.
Believe me, ain't more than a couple.
Yeah. Look.
More than a couple plays.
Look, LeBron needs to be on the floor, and I get it, but I don't have any problem with that. When people bring that up, I don't have any problem, because he has so much on his plate. He's responsible for so much, and but maybe it'll be different this year now that we have now they have Russ, yeah. But all right, man. I want to get to the entertainment portion of our podcast, man, because we have a lot to talk about this week. But the first question I have for you, though, is what if T'Challa was a Star-Lord, Hurt?
Well, obviously he would be more well known throughout the galaxy. That's number one. But you know what? The crazy thing is, because of how T'Challa grew up and who he was, how they did that. What if I feel like I could see it. Like he made everything. He made the kind of universe a better place in a way.
Yes, love
You
that.
know, where Star Lord or Peter Quill, yeah,
Right.
he's just about doing whatever Yondu, wanted to do and
Right.
feeling stuff and everything. But that was just a freaking great episode or whatever.
Awesome.
Again, and also I know Black Panther is going to be in more of these what ifs, which is good. And they're all voiced by our boy Chadwick.
Yeah.
So which is cool. But and to me, honestly, I don't know what other ones they have coming up. I know they have at least 6 or 7 more or 8 more this season. Just hearing his voice, seeing him as that character means so much to me.
Yeah.
So even if they have great episodes, this episode here means the most.
Yeah. Now, the crazy thing is, like last week, I thought was great. This week just blew my mind.
Yep.
What I'm hearing, this next episode is even better. And I can't even.
That's what they do, though.
Yes, like
that's what they do.
Marvel just makes me grab my wallet and say, "Here, Mickey, here."
Yeah.
I bow down.
Oh, give me your money, Brian.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
I'm a sucker, man. They got me. They
got everybody basically.
Yeah,
they got everybody. But yeah, that dude, the cartoon's great. I love it. It's it's cool. It was so good. Like I said, just having everybody, hearing the voices, seeing Peter working at Dairy Queen.
Yeah, that was
it was just
seeing Thanos in the club, just chilling, you know what I
mean? Dude, they was telling jokes. Yeah, but it's fair. Just like, Dad, you talking genocide again? That's genocide. Yeah, but it's equal. It's fair. It's at random.
Like, oh my God.
That whole theme, him being funny and a good guy is just that, him fighting the Black Order.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
it's crazy, man.
Yeah, that was pretty. It was pretty good.
And we also, and you got to explain this one to me, but we also got an appearance from Howard the Duck.
Well, that we remember Howard the Duck was in one of these other. Howard the Duck is a Marvel character, and we remember we got Howard the Duck movie in the 80s, I think. Too.
Yes.
So he was in this one for a short period of time, but it was funny because he was when they went to visit Nowhere in Guardians of the Galaxy. He was in one of the cages.
Yeah.
So he's just Marvel's answer to Disney's. Well, it was part Disney. Funny, it's part Disney now, but to Donald. And so we're gonna have this foul-mouthed duck come out here and talk. You know what I mean? Because the other thing, remember there was Spider-Ham for Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. So they just kept,
That's just too funny, man. I wasn't expecting to see Howard the Duck.
Yeah, that was well, the fact that he let him out and he was trying to lead him to the right place.
And speaking of 80s icons,
like Howard the Duck,
we're about to take it back to the 80s, Hurt.
We about to take it back to the old school.
Because our next topic,
take it back in time.
And this is a fun topic, man. And we're kind of split on this because we went different directions.
Oh, we're totally split on this, which is fine.
Yeah, which I like that. But we were talking about, going back to the 80s, and we're going to do our decades list, top 10 list. But we're starting it off with something fun. Our top 10 TV theme songs. Top 10 TV theme songs. And this is just so fun because, the 80s theme songs were great. Like there were so many good ones. And like nowadays, we have great TV shows. We have TV shows with great openings, but not necessarily great theme songs. Whereas in the 80s, in the 90s, you got great TV theme songs.
These are on my list that I've made up.
Oh my God.
Writing things down of theme songs. And there's stuff that I left off or hashtag or have forgotten.
Okay.
There's just too many.
Yeah, it's
Honestly, it's just too many. And like I said,
and that's why I wanted you to narrow down to your top 10, but it was so many you couldn't do it.
I did narrow it down to my top 10.
No, I thought you did your top 10 TV sitcoms and your top 10 cartoons.
Yes. So those are I narrowed it down to 10 each.
Right.
Yeah. So they have my top 10 cartoons and my top 10 sitcoms.
All right. Well, cool.
And then I know you have some honorable mention too, so we'll get to that. But
so all right. So here's how I want to do this. Right.
Yep.
I just did a top 10 because I was like, no, you need to keep a top 10. You were like, no, I need to separate it. So fine. So I want you to start with one of your top 10 lists. I'm going to give my top 10 list, and then you're going to give your last top 10 list.
That's cool. All right. Well, I'm going to start off with cartoons because I mean the 80s was the golden era. Like the 90s was like the golden era of hip hop in some ways. The 80s was golden era of cartoons.
Okay. Question, real quick, before we get started.
Yes.
Will I have every show on your list because I have a top 10, you have a top 20. So I'm wondering if all of my songs are going to be on.
To me, I have two top 10 lists. You say to have a top 20. I have two top.
Right.
So we just going to fight about this for 15 minutes.
So I am going to make a bet. We're
going to have on my cartoon list. I will have at least 2 of your top 10.
Well, okay. So here's my bet. I'm willing to bet that I'm going to have 8 songs. Like I'm going to have 8 of your songs from your list. But on
your top 10.
Yeah. At first, I was going to say all 10, but I was like, no.
But you made a top 10 of just sitcoms.
I know. But what I'm saying is, between your 2 lists, I think I'm gonna have those songs.
Oh, I got you.
But I was gonna say all my songs were gonna. I was gonna say I was gonna have all of them, but I know there's one that's not gonna be in the list. I'm gonna say 8. I'm just gonna say 8. But anyway, let's get it started.
All right. So real quick, on my cartoons, number 10, I was having some issues with.
Okay.
Because I couldn't really remember the song, but it was when I saw the cartoon.
Wait. You couldn't remember the song, but it's
I'm not because I'm like with albums, I have to be reminded sometime with visual cues.
Okay.
And there's certain songs that will just pop in my mind that are random that people don't know, like my number 9.
Okay.
I feel like nobody watched that except for me.
Okay.
But it's on there. But number 10 was part of a block of shows that I loved. And it's a tie. So it's a tie between Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers and TaleSpin.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I gotta have both. I didn't even really watch the Jungle Book, and I hated Alvin and the Chipmunks. I hated it. But Chip 'n Dale, who weren't even real characters. They had their own show, and it was really good.
Great theme song.
I love Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers.
Great theme.
And I love TaleSpin.
I don't remember, for whatever reason, I'm not remembering the TaleSpin theme song.
God, now I'm getting them all mixed up in my head. Put it like this: as we go down the list, if all the other ones are going to be on here eventually, you know that they had a really good theme song. That's all.
All right.
Number 9, one of my favorite cartoons of all time on one of my favorite channels as a kid, Nickelodeon. Number 9 is Danger Mouse. Now, a lot of kids, maybe I got in New York, and I feel like a lot of kids didn't watch Nickelodeon in other places. But Danger Mouse came on 7 p.m. on weekdays. And it was like this British cartoon with Danger Mouse, Pinfo, Geppetto. It's just Danger Mouse. He was a spy. I love the cartoon. I love the song.
Okay.
So Danger Mouse. Did I write this correctly? My number 8 is probably a little bit low, but just because what it meant to me didn't really mean as much. But number 8's got to be Inspector Gadget. You can't forget that song. Because you can just be sitting at work. I mean, you just kept, it's back there again. I mean, it was so, again, I didn't even go Gadget Arms. It was just kind of silly. But and look, I'm thinking of things as soon as I'm thinking of more things as we're doing this. We're gonna have to have like a top 50. So number 8 is Inspector Gadget. Number 7 is He-Man.
Okay.
Because it was meant to me. I love the cartoon, the show. He-Man. And it was just a pretty good song, and I really loved it. Number 6, Thundercats.
Yes.
You come on. And then they played it like kind of during the show. So like when the Thunder Tank came out, it was like and so it was like the whole show, and they just played it like different rhythms and like speed levels, but it was still freaking awesome. So that was my number 6.
Okay.
Number 5, G.I. Joe. It's a simple song. G.I. Joe was there. A real American hero. G.I. Joe was there. So it's my number 5. I think I did it out of order. I did somehow. I lost track somewhere. I'll find something along the way. Okay. Number 3, or is it? No, number 4. Smurfs.
Yeah.
It's just, la 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 la. I mean, these little da 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 da. When Gargamel came out. So I was went up for my number 3. Is I think I'm at number 3 now. Which is going to be on your list, DuckTales.
Yep.
I mean, DuckTales. Ooh, I mean, dude. First of all, Uncle Scrooge was this really mean dude
yes.
in the movies, and somehow he became like Scottish or Irish, one of the two.
Scottish, yeah.
Yeah, Scottish. And he became cool and became really great, uncle to Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yep. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, but Scrooge McDuck is my all-time favorite Disney character.
Well, he should, because he, like, to me, he redeemed himself.
Yep.
He wasn't like that really mean, Uncle Scrooge that everybody was scared of. And plus, my favorite Disney character is Donald.
Oh,
so
okay.
Having Donald, having a duck with a speech impediment, you got to go past that. This damn mouse is taking all my shine from me. You know what I mean? So, like, he would do cameos sometimes in the show. So I really did enjoy that too. Number 2, which would be high on your list, I know, Muppet Babies.
Yeah.
I was singing it this morning. When you feel all kind of wind and you wish that you were there. It's kind of likely and you could be anywhere. Come on.
Yes.
That whole song, everybody, all the little grown Muppets and little Muppets, you know what I mean? And back then the Muppet Show was huge, and I loved the Muppet Show. So so that's on there. Number 1, Transformers, season 3. Was me. Because Transformers is my all-time favorite cartoon. And so it means every time I hear that song, it just makes me think of Galvatron and thinks of Rodimus Prime and just think of Transformers. Because I think I have more Transformer toys than anything that I've ever had. Fortunately, my mom, of course, made me give them away, and I remind her of that all the time because I could have got more money. So yeah, my honorable mention, even though it wasn't cartoon, that goes on here because I know I was out of order somewhere. Well, it might be. You know what? It might be underneath my TV show one, even though it was kind of cartoon, but it was like a Muppet production. It was a Jim Henson production. It's Fraggle Rock. The Fraggle Rock was I'm right away. Only for another day, let the music play. Down to Fraggle Rock. I just love Fraggle Rock. So that's one of my honorable mentions.
Okay.
All right. Now let's get to this our top 10 of regular TV shows. Let's start with you.
All right. So
you do a 10, I'll do a 10.
All right. So here are my top 10.
And I know I messed this up too, so that's all right.
Okay. Well, first let me tell you my honorable mention.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I have a couple honorable mention. There was a show called Perfect Strangers, with
Then obviously I was the only person that didn't watch it.
yeah, I love that show, but the theme song is pretty good. That's in my honorable mention. A Different World. Love the theme show. Love
me. And behind come one day. Oh, dude, that
it's a different world. Yeah, so yeah, that's an awesome theme song.
Yes.
Awesome theme song. But there's so many good ones. It went out of my honorable mention. And another one of my honorable mention is The Muppet Show. I had to kick that out. But you forget how great a theme song The Muppet Show is. It's time to put on makeup. It's time to light the lights. It's time to get me started on The Muppet Show tonight. I mean, that theme song is great.
But the funny thing was with The Muppet Show when it came out later, I got my favorite Muppet character of all time, man.
Who's that?
My boy, the prawn.
Oh yeah.
Oh God! Now I'm drawing a blank.
What do you get when you cross that in a right?
Just Pepe. Pepe, man, it was like, hey, what do you get? He's dancing, dude. And then I see him on commercials. Like, that's my guy, dude. Like, I need like more Pepe. I need more Pepe.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they did that. But I'm sorry. So you're 10. You're you still got your honorable mention. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So the Muppet Show honorable mention. Gotcha.
So, yeah. So I had to kick this out because the Muppet Show was my number 10 at first, but I had to do a little bit rearranging. But now coming in at number 10, I kicked out Muppet Show for Gummy Bears. Gummy Bears. I mean, the theme song it's so good. It's so good. The theme song is probably better than the show. The show was cool.
Oh, the show was garbage.
No, it wasn't garbage.
It was bouncing around everywhere. Whatever. But the song was good.
Bouncing here and there and there. Yo, it's weird. I haven't watched this show in years, but I know all the words. Yo,
it was a good song. I didn't really remember it. I saw it. And I'm like, I could not remember the song. But when somebody sings it, I'm going to remember it automatically.
Oh yeah, it's so memorable.
Yeah.
All right, coming in.
So memorable as I say, I just forgot it. Yeah.
Oh, that was Mom calling. During the podcast. Don't worry, Mom. Let's see. Coming in at number 9.
Well, let me do my number 10.
I got you.
Yeah. So my number 10 was going to be higher, 227. So I got 227 on here as my number 10. Because there's no place like home. I mean, it was just, and you see them, and I just picture them hanging out their windows, yelling down at the, it was, I love 227. All right, go ahead. What you got?
All right. Well, we're not too far apart, but coming in at number 9 is Amen.
Oh.
Yo, that joint was funny. I love that.
Yeah.
I love Amen's theme song. All right, what you got?
All right, my number 9 I have is A Different World.
Okay.
Yeah, that just when it came. I mean, again, they had their lead-in was the Cosby Show, which is cool. But when that song came on, man, I just could not wait to see that show. It was such a good show. Dwayne, Ron, it gave you all the emotions. Kim, everybody in that show did a great job. I love that show. It was produced perfectly. It gave me, the college experience before I ever went to college.
Yes.
So really, Different World to me, number 9.
Yeah, like didn't you feel like that was how college, like when you were in college, didn't you expect it to be like Different World?
Yeah, because I didn't know, honestly, before school, I didn't know what Greeks were about. Yeah. I didn't know anything Greek. The only thing Greek I knew was like Zeus. You know what I mean? I didn't know like there's like fraternities and sororities. I had no idea. So luckily, because of the show, I let me go study some things. And before I went to school, so I wasn't like blasted, because when you go to school, you see all these fraternities, sororities. And you're like, what is all this? And I just at least I expected it, and I kind of knew what it was when I got there. Now again, it's still totally different going to a mixed university than going to an all black university.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was still awesome.
Yeah.
Still awesome. But yeah, but it kind of prepared me, so I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, number 8, 227.
Yeah.
There's no place like home. It's just awesome. And I think Marla Gibbs, didn't she sing the theme song?
I think she was so talented.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she might have. It's yeah, she might have.
I think
she might have. Yeah.
Yep.
I think she did sing that because now I'm sitting here going through it in my head. This sounds like her voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be her.
Because I mean, No Place Child. I'm pretty sure that's her. So I know that's her singing.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, it definitely wasn't Jack A singing. Number 10.
And
they're still on TV. They're both still on TV. They're on like some soap opera, like what? Days of Our Lives or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
All right, what you got at number 8, Hurt?
Number 8, I have the A-Team. So it didn't really have a ton of. It had the beginning, which is. I
think that's more theme music, but okay, theme song music.
It didn't really have words, but I can't get that dun 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 dun.
That makes you want to get going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it just. Now most of my stuff on here does have words except for like, because the 80s to me was a lot of shows that I loved that didn't have words. So there's gonna be a lot more on here. But
okay.
The A-Team.
Okay. All right, coming in at number 7 for me is Different Strokes. I know it started off in the 70s, but it had more seasons in the 80s, so I'm counting it as an 80s show. Different Strokes. Love that theme song.
Yeah, to me, it's yeah, yeah, definitely. Different strokes to the world. So
I don't know what they were saying, but everybody knows the Different Strokes theme song.
Oh yeah. Number 7 for me is Facts of Life.
Oh, Facts of Life.
You take the good, you take the bad, and then there you have the Facts of Life. The Facts of Life.
Really good, which was a spin-off of Different Strokes, by the way.
Yep. So and of course, I fell in love with Tootie.
Yes.
There you go.
Yep.
So I love a Facts of Life.
Yeah. This is one of my favorite theme songs. I actually had it higher on my list, but I had to knock it down because there were so many other good ones. Great American Hero, man.
Oh my God.
I was walking on there. Never thought.
First of all, that's way too low.
Yeah, but it was originally number 2, but I had to knock it down because there's so many other good ones.
Yeah, you missed the Tua talk, man. We spent like the first part of our show was about Tua.
What are you talking
how
about?
well he did last night, man. So
Tua.
Yeah.
Wait, what are you talking about? What's Tua got to do with
this?
Great American Hero.
Yeah, that's all. They're just kind of chiming in late.
Oh, come on, man. What the heck, man?
That's all. But yeah, no, he missed it, but that's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, just listen to the the audio version of the show, or just rewatch this. Yeah. And the first at least 45 minutes was about Dolphins and Tua and tailgate. So,
yep.
What number are we on?
All right, you need to give me your number 5.
Was it 5 or 6?
No, it's 5.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute. Oh shoot. It is 6. I messed up.
Okay, 6.
I gave you my 5. Let me give you my 6 real quick. Then
Go ahead.
Coming in at number 6, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Okay. Great theme song. And I know it to this day. Heroes in a Half Shell, Turtle Power. I mean, come on. Ninja Turtles, one of the best 80s theme songs out there.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, all I know is that last part is Turtle Power.
Oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. You know that.
If you say honestly,
don't act like you
don't know it.
Get the heck out of here. All right, whatever.
I don't know. I wasn't a Turtles person. Like I remember seeing the beginning and when they're little turtles didn't get mutated.
But I don't remember about saying Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Come on, Hurt.
I remember the last part when you say Turtles and a Half Shell. I remember that part.
Okay.
Like the first part I don't remember.
Okay. All right.
I know it's your favorite card to take it.
All right. What does 6 and 5 hurt?
All right. So number 6 to me, which it started in the 80s and it was one of my favorite shows of all time. And again, there's no words to it, but it's Star Trek: The Next Generation. It starts off with, you know, I mean, it's just that theme song is just so enriched in my DNA, and I'm just because I'm a Trekkie. And gave me Jean-Luc Picard and Data, and hopefully soon to be the new host of Jeopardy, Geordie LaForge.
By the way, we need to talk about that whole debacle. By the way,
dude, remember because they said there was 2 hosts. And then they get I don't know what they were I don't know what they were thinking, but we'll get into that maybe next.
Yeah, we had to talk about that later because that was a debacle. But anyway,
number 5 for me is Hill Street Blues.
Oh, okay.
It's just dun, 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 dun. It was just and seeing the cars roll out and. Listen, that show made me as a kid. It made me cry. It gave me goosebumps, and it was such a good show. And the guy was like, "All right, everybody, roll out. You know, be safe out there." And it was such a good show. I love Hill Street.
Such a good show that I've never seen an episode. I know the theme song, but I've never seen an episode of Hill Street Blues.
Yeah, love Hill Street Blues. All right, what you got for your 4? I think.
All right, number 4. Coming in at number 4. This is also cheating a little bit because this is a 70s show that went into the 80s, but it was probably split. I think half it was in the 70s, half was in the 80s. But this is one of the greatest theme songs, period, of all time, and that is the Jeffersons, man. We're moving on up, man.
All right. See, I tried not to keep the 70s ones in there.
Yeah,
so
but
I get what you're saying.
In the 80s, but it was in the 80s as much as it was in the 70s.
Yeah. I mean,
but I get it. It started off in the 70s, but it was
I would have changed my list then a little bit more.
Yeah, but I mean, it was in the 80s too.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like certain ones. Like if something starts at 89, is it in the 80s or is it more in the 90s when it continues?
Oh, it's a 90s.
You know. All right. Well, if that's the case, then number 5 will have to be the Jeffersons because I was gonna put them on the list because that's such a great song.
Yeah,
it's not a great song, but it's in like every rap lyric. you know, everybody's got to be moving them up like Georgia Weezy.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's I don't know why it just, and I see the building. Like when you hear songs, you visualize everything, and you see him walking down, and you see the building and everything, and So I'm just gonna take out what I had, and I'm putting that.
Yeah, that was cheating a little bit, I will say, but I felt like because it was on from 75 to 85, so it was an even split. So
so I'll put that in. What you got for 4?
That was my 4.
Oh, so that was probably my 4. What you got for 3?
All right, my 3.
Oh, we had 3? Wait, no, that wasn't your 4, was it?
Yes, the Jeffersons was my number 4.
Oh.
I didn't. Yeah, number 6 I had Ninja Turtles. Number 5 I had Great American Hero. Number 4 I had the Jeffersons.
So I must be off somewhere.
You were supposed to do 6 and 5.
Oh, I probably skipped 5 then.
Okay.
It's for me number 5 is, which is weird, is all these because my pen stopped working at one point, so I'm trying to read what I wrote. At number 5, it's not
it wasn't growing, was it?
Not Growing Pains. It was
Silver Spoons.
No. What do we do, baby? Without
that's
Family Ties.
Yes, Family Ties.
Family Ties. It is so weird because that show would seem to be more about the parents of Alex P. Keaton, but he became the show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was definitely the Alex.
He became the show. So, but and that song just is in my head.
And it's crazy. And that just goes to show you how good of an actor Michael J. Fox is, because that character is so different than Marty McFly. Yo. I hate Alex P. Keaton. I love Marty McFly.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Mr. Reaganomics guy.
All right. So Coming in at number
three.
three for me is one that you've already said. One of the greatest theme songs
So
ever.
that was my 5, and then I did 4. Whatever. I don't know. I'm off somewhere. But go ahead.
All right. Well, my number 3 is Muppet Babies. Like I said, there are times where I'm in the shower and the song comes in my head and I start singing the song. And as I sing it so much, I actually had to show the kids on YouTube, what I was singing. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. So my real quick, because somehow my numbers are off, which could be my handwriting. My number 4, I guess, because I feel like I have 4 songs left. So number 4 to me is Amen.
Okay.
I love that song's in my head. I see him walking around the church.
Yeah.
Him jumping rope. Shine on me. Shine on me. I can't get that out of my head.
Sherman Hensley is popular on our list.
Oh, dude, of course. So that's like my 4, I think. My number 3, because you're at 3, right?
Yeah.
So my 3 is The Greatest American Hero.
Oh, okay.
I mean, for a show that I swear was on for like a year. I don't even remember.
I know, dude.
That song was so freaking great.
I
think it was like 2 or 3. I think.
Yeah, I know. I've heard it recently in some commercial.
But believe it or not, I'm walking on it. Oh my God, no, I be free. A wing and a prayer with me. I mean, it's so good, but
it's so good, man.
It's just me. I mean, come on. So good. So yeah, that's my number 3. Go ahead, your number 2.
All right, coming in at number 2. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Race car, lasers, airplanes. It's a duck blur. Might solve a mystery or rewrite history. DuckTales.
Woo!
That theme song, dude. Oh, come on,
it's
man.
So good. It is such a good show.
So good. It's a good show. The theme song was great. Number 2 on my list.
All right. My number 2 is just one of the best songs, one of the best shows on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a place where you go where everybody knows your name.
Oh, Hurt, you were so close. You were so close, but go ahead.
Yeah, everybody knows your name.
Hurt.
I mean, Cheers is great, but that's my number 2. All so right. I'm guessing your number 1 is
the theme song to Cheers is undoubtedly the greatest TV show themes. I mean, it's when you hear the piano, all it takes is the first piano riff in the beginning, and making your way through this world today takes everything you got. Come on, man! Like, it's the greatest TV show. It's go where everybody knows your name, Hurt. Yeah. It's so good. You know the words. It's so catchy. It's just. So what's your number 1, man?
My number 1 is a song that means more to me now than it probably ever has. Because and there's a lot of things that I say to people, especially when they do things for you. But I always start things out. You know what? Thank you for being my friend.
Okay.
Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party and invited everyone that you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me. And the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend. That's it.
Yo,
also the pen. That's just nothing else greater than that song and the meaning. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. I'm just sitting there and I'm so grateful. Again, I don't have any family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no one related to me in this state. But the people, you, El Boogie, everybody, Joyelle, Dawn, Dan, everybody, they became everybody's family. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's just, when I hear that song, it hits me here. And it's just, everybody's been through so much together. And man, all I can just, it just means so much. Like, I will send them pictures of that song with just Sophia and Blanche and Rose.
Estelle.
You
Oh no,
know,
that was a real name.
yeah, and the show was so good.
It's weird. I never really liked the show because I guess I just didn't. I guess I couldn't relate to it as a little kid. I don't know, but the theme song was great. You're right. I totally forget. I don't forget about the Golden Girl. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, your number one is
Yeah.
freaking. I love that song, but Golden Girls should be
Yeah.
on top. Something.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, how did I forget?
So
Because I might be thinking, what is his number one? Like,
I know you're like, wait, you did Cheers already too. What happened?
but yeah, I totally forgot. So that was good, man.
Dude, have the Golden Girls T-shirt. I love them. I love that shit. It was just, picture Sicily, 1922. And she was like, what? And then it'd be some kind of thing. And Rose and her from Minnesota and Blanche and what she was doing.
And Betty White is still doing stuff.
And Betty White still kicking it.
Yes.
So she's still hilarious from St. Olaf. So, but that's, listen, we could be doing this for days. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Tua Talk will definitely be on the first part of the show. But thank you everybody for tuning in for this. Next week, I don't even know what we're going to do, but it's 80s related. I don't think we talked about it yet, but we'll talk.
We got to figure that. Yeah, we got to figure that out.
I'll figure that out. But I feel like I can still do 15 more of these, to be honest. Because I feel like I'm still missing stuff. Like in my head, I didn't have Knight Rider on there and, Saint Elsewhere. And there's so many good shows that actually had words, Growing Pains. So, but thank you everybody for tuning in. Of course, you can follow us on Facebook, IG, and the Twitter. Of course, we're sitting here live for you on StreamYard, YouTube. You can follow us, subscribe, give us a like. We would appreciate it. And of course, you can listen to us on audio version. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio. We're on Google Podcasts, wherever you find podcasts, you will find NYMD Podcast. Everybody have a safe day and have a great week. See you next week.
Peace out, y'all.
Thank you for being our friend.